Hi there Star Wars collectors, and welcome to another Bossk's Bounty video. And here we are, fresh from the Hasbro Pulsecon livestream, where I'll be taking you through all of the reveals and the pipelines for the vintage collection. We'll be looking at the high-res images, letting you know my thoughts, and of course letting you know the all-important pre-order info. Now, although the items that we saw today were pretty cool, I did come away feeling a little bit shortchanged, which I will get into later. Hopefully it won't turn into a rant, but with all that being said, if you do happen to enjoy this video, hit the like button and we'll get into this. Okay then, so first up, they revealed the previously pipelined Jedi, Revan and HK47 2-pack, which will be branded as the app game Galaxy of Heroes. So this is the first time we've ever seen that logo on a card back or a box in the vintage collection. The 2-pack does contain 2 carded figures of Jedi Revan, which is a repaint kit bash of the Darth Revan figure that is going to be coming out towards the end of the year, and the HK47, which uses the tooling from the Build-A-Droid version that was included in the Legacy collection. The closed box packaging looks nice with the side panels there. Very Black Series-esque if you ask me, having those images on the sides. But thankfully the 2 figures are individually carded inside, so that's going to be good for you carded collectors out there. This particular item will be available to pre-order an hour early on Hasbro Pulse at 4 PM EST in the US or 9 PM in the UK, but then other retailers will have it as well an hour later. Check out my social media or the pinned comment for a link to Entertainment Earth, where if you order through them, the channel gets a tiny weeny kickback, so it's a great way to support the channel. Next up, we have Director Krennic, which is one that I was very interested to see, especially how they would execute his cape. And this time they went with a plastic hard goods cape, which obviously I would prefer soft goods, but I think to execute that collar, they possibly had to go with the hard goods option. I've talked about this before in previous videos and live streams and things like that. So I was waiting to see what this one looked like, and yeah, I'm not surprised that they've gone with that hard goods collar. And to be honest, I would rather that they do make things screen accurate, so I'm actually quite happy with this decision, even though I do prefer soft goods in general. The figure itself looks great. The head sculpt really good, as you'd expect with a new head. He has flashes of grey paint in his hair to make him screen accurate, which is all good. So all in all, an awesome figure that has taken far too long to be made into the vintage collection. Now the card back for this one is a decent image of him, not quite what I was expecting. If you've watched previous videos of mine, you'll know the image that I was expecting for this figure. They didn't go with it exactly, but it's close enough. Moving on to Chopper from the Ahsoka series, and first of all I've got to say that I thought he looked really good. Very happy with the way he looks. I really like the articulation on the slanting head, which really brings out the character of the droid. However, his little arms that come out the side of his head don't seem to have articulation at all of the joints on the elbows and the shoulders and things like that. I think it might only be at the shoulders rather than the elbows, which, correct me if I'm wrong, the Disney Droid Factory version did have. So that is a bit of a shame. I may be wrong about that, but this is what I'm seeing in the images. He is packed in with an extra satellite dish and the tracking device that he throws on to the ship in the Ahsoka series, all designed to make it feel like you are getting more value for money. The card back looks great, and it's basically the same image that they used for the Retro Collection version. The final reveal for the Vintage Collection was Huyang, which was a welcome addition, I've got to say, especially when they said it is a fully newly tooled figure. Once again, he looks really good, which is what I would expect from an all-new sculpt. Looks pretty accurate to me, and even comes with an interchangeable backpack so you can have it closed or with his little extendable arms out. We don't have any packaging images for this one at the moment, but just knowing that he is coming to the line is good news to me. Now, before we move on to the pipelines, which were pretty weak in my opinion, I just want to talk about this year's PulseCon and how underwhelmed I was, basically. Now, let's not forget, this is their own online convention. It's a big thing for them. You know, there's only one a year. It's a big enough event for the Black Series to get a convention exclusive out of it. And if we break down what we actually got in the Vintage Collection, we have Krennic, a figure released in the Black Series 7 years ago, Chopper, who was released in the other scale nearly 5 years ago, Jedi Revan, who was released nearly 4 years ago. And then the Hasbro team make a point of thanking the community for backing the Ghost, which hid all of its tears and surpassed any of their expectations. Now, to me, I think a better thank you would have been to promise that most, if not all, of the profits made from the Ghost were reinvested into the vintage collection so that they can get more of these figures out in a timely manner. Now, it got worse when they started to reveal the Black Series figures, mentioning the words newly tooled when describing the figures for Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati, the two characters that, in my opinion, are making that series what it is. They are the two characters that I saw in the trailer and in the show that I wanted the most made in the vintage collection. And how long will we have to wait for our newly tooled figures of these two awesome characters? I think it might be a while. Anyway, that was my mini rant. Although the mini rant doesn't stop there really. The pipeline reveals pretty much hit home what I feel the vintage collection seems to be at the moment, which is a lot of repaints and retools. The new officer sculpt and the Cal Kestis head, and boom, a figure that nobody wants or that goes with anything else we have. A repainted Death Watch Mando for the Judge, and then a clone 4-pack, which I can't grumble at because I do like the clones, but still, it's an easy one for them to do. Where are our newly tooled figures? And if the line is more about world building and background characters over new media, then where are our newly tooled Hammerhead and the Tonica sisters and characters like that? As you can tell, I was left pretty underwhelmed by today's live stream. What we got does look cool, but as I stated before, what we got was also long overdue. I bet many of you watching were really hoping for Baylan. Well, unfortunately, we will be waiting a little bit longer for our version of Baylan Skoll. So there you go then, folks. If you want to pre-order the Krennic and Chopper, etc., they will be available at 5 PM EST in the US and 10 PM in the UK. Star Action Figures will have them in the UK, no doubt, as will Entertainment Earth in the US. Check back for those links, because if you do use the links for Entertainment Earth, as I said, the channel gets a very, very small kickback, and it all goes to supporting the channel. So thank you so much if you do happen to use those links. So thank you for watching, everybody. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll be interested to know your thoughts about today's reveals. To me, they were pretty good, but it left me wanting more. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we shall see you on the next one.